50 minutes away from 9.
A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
Sam Hunt's with us this morning. Good morning, Sam.
Hello, Wammo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you think I'll get the chance one day to meet that Kokako?
Yeah.
I'd like to meet the lady who introduces me there. What's her name?
Maybe a relative. It's Angelina. You might have met. You might know if you met Angelina.
No,
She does
no, because I remember that. Is that Angelina?
Yeah, she does the daytime show here on Kiwi.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Because we don't hear it up here, which is I get the pod thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's. Well, they both sound good. Yeah, Angelina. I remember. Talking, I must have spoken to her once on the phone.
That's right.
And I was telling her that my favourite Bob Dylan song of all time was not the old Angelina, that folky one, but the other one about the Mercedes driving through the combat zone. Amazing song. Do you know that one?
No, it was. And did you read that one out? No,
I think I have. Yeah.
And then you dedicated it to Angelina.
I did indeed.
Yeah.
Now, isn't that right? This is what happens when you become geriatric. You forget things.
Geriatric, come on.
Hey,
come on now.
It's good.
Actually, I was surprised because my dad is he's 60 plus, shall we say?
Yeah.
Right? And I was on holiday recently with the folks, and we went to the Hanmer pools, and he got in under the aged card or the elderly card. I was like, what? You kidding me?
Yeah, well, you do. I don't really get to go on buses. I haven't been on a bus since I was thrown off a bus when I was about.
but you know how you get to. You
can get round cheap. You can get to the doctor.
Oh, you do. But it was strange being the son and then going, well, yeah, my dad's that old? No, of course he's not.
Yeah, well, it was different in my case because my father, as you probably know, he was 60 when I was born. So he was an older man. I used to quite regularly have the experience of early days. I remember the mother of one of my friends when I was about 8, and she said, you spend a lot of time with your grandfather, don't you? And I said, well, my father's actually older than my grandfather, which was true. My father was older than my mother's father.
Ah.
So that always had them sort of whispering there in the polite suburbs.
Which I should know that, having just started the new Backroads book.
Oh, you've got the book.
I have.
Good. I should have sent, but I've got a few copies sent to me, and they got given away pretty quickly, and I've ended up with not even a copy myself.
Well, actually, I think what we're going to do, we're going to get some copies here at the station, so that through the coming weeks before Christmas, we'll start giving them away.
Oh, yeah,
around about this time.
I'm very pleased with it. I don't mean this in some sort of smug way. Far from it. All sorts of lovely things have happened. I mean, when something good happens, I don't want to sound like too much of an old hippie, but but when something good happens, it sets up other good things. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
With Backroads, in one of the chapters, I talk about some of the poets that have meant a lot to me, including one that I've mentioned on this program many a time because I love them so much, and that's Gordon Chalice.
Yeah.
Now, the book came out, and I did send Gordon a copy down in Golden Bay, he and his partner, Penny, with love. And, of course, anyway, I got back in the mail just a couple of days ago, a wonderful letter from Gordon in response, and also his new book of poems.
Oh.
And it's all lovely. This is the man who just quickly, 1963, brought out his first book of poems, which I've got, which I love, called Buildings, and then there was the 40-year silence. And I talk about it when I'm talking about him. You can talk about 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, but this was 40 years in the desert, and no poems as far as I know. I don't know him personally. I've never met Gordon, but then we got sort of to know each other by way of letters just about a year ago. And then I had his book, his first in 40 years, called The Other Side of the Brain, which I've read poems from on this program. Well, this is now a new one, and it's a lovely little book published by Steele Roberts in Wellington called Luck of the Bounce. And it's got that, even the title, Luck of the Bounce, has got that sort of, that strange sort of Gordon Chalice quality. Can I read you a couple?
Yeah, I'd love to hear some, yeah.
Yeah. This is one called The Rich. They have plans for houses neither you nor I may imagine, but no songs. The poor have songs praising solidarity and how the union will endure, while the rich may well go for Debussy, his piano music, and even dive through his brown cathedral, having always enough air in their tanks. In Haiti, they say if work were such a good thing, the rich would have grabbed it all long ago. How the devil do the poor make such good songs, all those that work upon the heart. There ought to be a law, music to be shared more evenly, work schemes devised to help the rich begin their songs. That's a nice one. Here's another one I like. We talked about the old before, about with your dad and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How about this one? The old. People over the age of 65 should be put to sleep for the winter. No one will ask them, or if they do, any awkward questions to their friends or family. They are easily dealt with. Hired a camper van, North Queensland, the World Cup. There'll be no mention how they may be training for more serious things, e.g. the Winter Olympics, practicing the slalom of discreet avoidance, or bending the rules to allow their coffins to luge-like do the downhill head first. They would be woken in the spring as feisty and convincing as ever, telling how their absence was novel, exciting, hassle-free, and went like a dream.
I love that.
Isn't he good?
Yeah.
Isn't he good? Hey, look, can I just one last favourite? Things going through, okay? Another little short one of Gordon Chalice. Got time?
Absolutely, yeah.
This one's called Extra, read all about it. Cricket teams, especially the batsmen, slump to an abysmal total like slugs on a high-gravity planet. Houses seldom just burn down, they are instead engulfed by flames as if fire and water were the best of mates. Victims felled by horrendous blows do not succumb so easily, and daily in intensive care are fighting for their lives. I'm seeking my way among these phrases, knowing from frequency how true they are, also knowing there is something extra I've not read about.
So much life in those poems, isn't there?
Isn't that lovely? Yeah, good comment. So, one thing leads to another, and it's been bloody good actually, and other things like that. I've also found, I may add, a couple glaring, not plagiarisms, pleased to say, just a couple of errors in memory,
Okay.
But it's nothing that can't be fixed up. One of the, well, I hope, it's one of the sort of the pleasures of doing a book like Backroads, but there are a few non-pleasures.
Talking about that P word, have you ever noticed other poets borrowing lines?
No poet that I would have time for, no. You sometimes obviously hear echoes. You'll know that too, won't you? You listen to a band or a musician or a poet, and and you hear echoes. But lifting off the page, no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because I was thinking about this the other day, and about various different art forms, and how very rarely stuff is completely original. There's some stuff always borrowed and manipulated and changed.
Voice,
yeah. But it's hard to know sometimes when that line is crossed.
Well, I think when it is crossed, is pretty obvious actually. Looking at some recent examples, it's sort of very sad for everyone involved. I think with the Witi Ihimara thing, it's awful.
No one benefits at the end of the day from any of it, I suppose. No. Everyone just has a bad taste.
And when you discover, it's like somebody telling you a lie. If somebody's telling you a lie and you know it's a lie, or you're becoming aware that they're lying to you, it's a disheartening feeling.
And in saying that, it would be horrible for anyone in their art form to be only as good as their last piece of work. And no one should be held to account just to their last piece of work.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Hey, Hey, now, true, but on to just quickly.
Yep.
Just want to say, I've just received some lovely poems from somebody, and I'm going to read her poems next week if I get the chance. I'm very keen to. Her name being, I've just got it here. Excuse me 1 second. Her name, Lindley Edmead. So if she's listening, or any friend of hers is listening, she lives in Wellington, I think. Been really enjoying the poems. I'd like to do a few next week.
Oh, great.
And may I just finish with a brand new little poem of mine called Chord 41.
Cool.
It's only a few lines. It's just not it's not a, he said, justifying it before he said it's not a poem, it's just a chord, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a chord. Thoughts of you make me take the old road north. Every bridge I cross, more water between us. Could be I'm wrong, I quite likely am. Rain comes on strong, it's not on its own. I think of you too often. That's one for the weekend.
It certainly is, Sam.
Okay, Wammo.
We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks very much. All the best.
See ya.
See ya.
That was a little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.